The legal disclaimer ensures transparency about recipe sources and viewer responsibility. Sambal Kangkung is arguably the most beloved vegetable dish in Malaysian home cooking, a lightning-fast stir-fry of water convolvulus, tossed with a fiery, aromatic sambal built from red chillies, shallots, and the unmistakable backbone of Southeast Asian cuisine, belacan, or fermented dried shrimp paste. The Malaysian-Chinese community admires this dish so deeply that they gave it the poetic nickname Josh, a phrase that captures how a humble riverside green is transformed into something vividly, memorably beautiful on the plate. The ingredient at the heart of the dish, kangkong mastin, known botanically as Ipomoea aquatica, is a semi-aquatic tropical plant that grows abundantly along riverbanks and rice paddies throughout Southeast Asia. Its thin, hollow stems and succulent leaves carry a mild, almost sweet nuttiness that provides the perfect canvas for the bold, pungent sambal. The trick lies in cooking it for no more than a flash over high heat. Done correctly, the greens retain their vibrant emerald color and refreshing crunch, absorbing the chilli-belacan sauce without ever going soggy. Sook Ching's original recipe keeps the method admirably simple. The entire dish comes together in about 5 minutes of actual cooking time, making it the quintessential weeknight Malaysian vegetable. Taste Atlas classifies Sambal Kangkong as a traditional Malaysian stir-fry, in which a sambal paste of hot peppers, shallots, garlic, dried shrimps, and shrimp paste is fried in a wok until fragrant, before the chopped water spinach is tossed in and stir-fried until just wilted. Then seasoned with salt and served immediately while still hot. Seasoned with spice confirms the same core technique, adding the valuable detail that the stems should go into the wok before the leaves, and that the greens should be bathed in ice water beforehand to keep them maximally crisp, a home cook's tip worth adopting. This is a dish that rewards confidence and speed. Have everything prepped and within arm's reach before the wok gets hot, because once the sambal hits the oil, there is no pausing. Sambal paste. Red chilies, 2, bird's eye chilies, optional, 2, dried shrimp paste, 1, 5x1, 5x1, 5x05 cm piece, shallots, 3, peeled, stir-fry, cooking oil, 1 tablespoon, dried prawns, 1 tablespoon, pounded. Water convolvulus, 500 g, each leaf plucked with a 4-5 cm stem. Salt to taste. Here are the written ingredient list. Preparation steps. Step 1. Wash and prepare the kangkong. Pluck the kangkong leaves individually, keeping a 4 or 5 cm length of tender stem attached to each leaf. Discard any tough, woody, or discolored stems, only the young, hollow, snap-when-bent stems should remain. Wash the greens thoroughly in several changes of cold water to remove any grit or sediment, then drain well in a colander. Excess water on the leaves will cause the stir-fry to steam rather than fry, diluting the sambal and making the dish soggy. Cross-reference note: Season with Spice recommends cutting the kangkong into 3-inch pieces and discarding all hard stems. An excellent tip from the author's mother is to bathe the plucked kangkong in a bowl of ice water for a few minutes before cooking. This keeps the vegetable maximally crisp and helps it retain its bright green color under high heat. Step 2. Pound the sambal. Using a mortar and pestle, pound together the 2 red chilies, the 2 bird's eye chilies, chillies 1, 5x1, 5x5 cm piece of belacan, and the 3 peeled shallots. Pound patiently until the mixture forms a coarse but relatively uniform paste. It need not be silky smooth, but the chilies and shallots should be broken down enough that no large chunks remain. The belacan will integrate into the paste, releasing its pungent, savory aroma as it is crushed. If using a blender instead of a mortar and pestle, add a tablespoon of water to help the blades move, but keep the amount minimal. You want a paste, not a liquid. The traditional pounding method is preferred because the rough crushing action releases the essential oils of the chilies and shallots more effectively than a blade, producing a more fragrant sambal. Cross-reference note: Taste Asian Food recommends dry toasting the belacan in a pan without oil for 1-2 minutes until it begins to smoke before pounding it into the sambal. This toasting step mellows the raw, pungent edge of the shrimp paste and deepens its umami character. Season with Spice uses a pre-made sambal belacan, red chilies pounded with toasted belacan, and a squeeze of lime, which is the classic Malaysian condiment. The 2 approaches produce equivalent results. Step 3. Pound the dried prawns. Take the 1 tablespoon of dried prawns and pound them coarsely using the mortar and pestle, or pulse briefly in a spice grinder. The pieces should be broken down into small flakes rather than a fine powder. This texture allows them to release their savory, seafood sweetness into the oil without disappearing entirely. Set aside separately from the sambal paste, as the prawns go into the wok at a different stage. Cross-reference note: Season with Spice offers dried shrimps as an optional addition, noting that if used, they should be soaked in water for 10 minutes first, then pounded or blended finely together with the sambal belacan. Sook Ching's version keeps them as a distinct ingredient, frying them separately so their flavor and texture remain identifiable in the finished dish. Cooking steps. Step 4. Fry the dried prawns and sambal. Heat a wok or large frying pan over medium-high heat until it is thoroughly hot. A drop of water should evaporate on contact. Add the 1 tablespoon of cooking oil and swirl to coat the surface. When the oil shimmers, add the pounded dried prawns and stir-fry for about 1 minute until they become fragrant and lightly golden. Next, add the pounded sambal paste and continue stir-frying for 2 minutes. The kitchen will fill with the unmistakable, pungent aroma of belacan toasting in hot oil. This is exactly what you want. Keep the ingredients moving constantly so the paste fries evenly without scorching. The sambal is ready when it darkens slightly in color and the oil begins to separate from the paste, a stage Malaysian cooks describe as the oil splitting or rising. Cross-reference note: season with spice begins by frying garlic and onion until fragrant before adding the sambal belacan and sugar, stir-frying for another minute. Sook Ching's version is more austere, relying on the shallots already in the sambal paste for the aromatic base. Both methods are authentic. The addition of garlic is a matter of regional and personal preference. Step 5. Stir-fry the kangkong. Add the prepared kangkong to the wok along with a pinch of salt. Immediately turn the heat up to high and stir-fry quickly and continuously using a spatula to toss the greens so that every leaf and stem makes contact with the hot wok surface and is coated in the sambal. Work fast. The entire stir-fry should take no more than 1-2 minutes. The stems, being slightly thicker, will need a moment longer than the leaves, which is why Sook Ching's method of plucking each leaf with a short stem attached ensures even cooking. Cross-reference note: season with spice recommends adding the stems first, stir-frying for a few seconds, and then adding the leafy parts. Over high heat, stir-fry quickly so that all the greens contact the heat, adding 1-2 tablespoons of water for a little gravy. The critical rule: cook the greens for no more than 2 minutes, and as soon as the leaves turn just wilted, turn off the heat and dish out immediately. This preserves the fresh look and crunch that defines a great sambal kangkong. Step 6. Season and serve immediately. The kangkong is cooked as soon as it looks limp, but is still vivid green. Do not wait for it to go dark or soft. Taste and adjust the seasoning with additional salt if needed, then dish out onto a serving plate immediately. Leaving the greens in the hot wok, even off the heat, will cause them to overcook and lose their texture and color. Serve straight away while piping hot. Sambal Kangkung is traditionally served as a side dish alongside steamed white rice and a main protein such as fried fish, grilled chicken, or beef rendang. A final squeeze of calamansi or lime juice over the greens just before serving adds a bright, tangy note that lifts the sambal and cuts through the richness of the belacan, a finishing touch recommended by Season with Spice that is well worth adopting. Notes and tips. Choosing kangkong: look for bunches with vibrant green, unblemished leaves and crisp hollow stems. Avoid any that show yellowing, slime, or a wilted appearance. These are signs of age and will cook into a watery, disappointing dish. If the stems are thick and fibrous, peel the outer layer before cooking, or simply discard them and use only the tender upper stems and leaves. Belacan, to toast or not to toast: Sook Ching's recipe uses belacan directly in the sambal paste without a separate toasting step. The frying of the paste in hot oil achieves a similar mellowing effect. However, many Malaysian cooks, including those cited at Taste Asian Food, prefer to dry toast the belacan in a pan for 1-2 minutes before pounding it, believing this releases a deeper, more complex aroma. Either approach is authentic. Try both and decide which you prefer. Heat level: the 2 red chilies in the original recipe produce a moderate, approachable heat. The optional 2 bird's eye chilies significantly increase the fire. Use them if you enjoy a genuinely spicy dish, or omit them for a milder version suitable for children. Malaysian hawkers will often use far more chili than a home recipe calls for, so feel free to scale up if you can handle it. Dried prawns variation: if you prefer the dried prawns more integrated into the dish, soak them in warm water for 10 minutes, drain, and pound them together with the sambal paste rather than separately. Season with Spice confirms this is a common and equally authentic approach. For a richer variation, 5-6 fresh medium prawns can be added to the wok after the sambal and cooked for 1-2 minutes before the kangkong goes in. Wok high. The single most important factor in this dish is cooking over high heat for a very short time. A well-seasoned carbon steel wok, preheated until it just begins to smoke, will impart the elusive smoky quality known as wok that restaurant versions of this dish are prized for. A heavy-bottom frying pan will work, but will not produce the same charred, smoky edge. Serving suggestions: sambal kangkong pairs naturally with almost any Malaysian meal. It is especially good alongside beef rendang, fried fish with turmeric, fried tamarind prawns, or simply with rice and a fried egg. It also makes an excellent component of a larger spread that includes sambal ikan bilis and hard-boiled eggs in the style of a nasi lemak accompaniment. Storage: this dish is best eaten immediately and does not reheat well. The kangkong will continue to soften and lose its vibrant color and crunch. If you must store leftovers, heat them refrigerated for no more than 1 day and reheat briefly in a hot wok for just enough time to warm through, accepting that the texture will be softer than when freshly made.